Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like to thank the CEO Club for arranging such a beautiful gathering of top CEOs of the country here. Ejaz has been working on it for a long time, and he used to be sending invitations for years. And I know a lot of CEOs around us who were participating and appreciating his efforts. This is my first time, and it's my pleasure, Jas, to be here, and all participants, highest respects for all of you, all CEOs, all guests of CEO Pakistan. We have been given this responsibility as the caretaker government, and I'm proud to be associated with one of the best professionals who are managing top ministries: energy, finance, privatization, economic affairs. It's a great pleasure. It's a great honor working with them, but more so, we're learning every day why Pakistan is where Pakistan is. And I think as a 40-year experienced business house under my leadership, when I resigned in August of this year to take up this assignment, it was a big decision, because I had decided I will not take over any government responsibility. And the main reason was that we can't make a difference. That was my reason of, because what we have seen in last especially 15 years, under all political governments, we saw an era of General Musharraf and Shaukat Aziz from 99 to 2008. And we saw the best of the best people there. Ghazi's brother was there, Humayun, and Shaukat Aziz was there, Razak Daud was there, Altaf Salim Sahab was there. And we actually saw Pakistan rising in those 10 years. I've been in business since 1985. I have never seen better era than those 10 years. And when they left, we were ready to take off. Probably it was difficult time. The debt was, foreign debt was less than $50 billion. Currency was 60 rupees to a dollar. Domestic debt was less than 7 trillion rupee. That was the basic number in 2008. And today, when we look at the numbers, we all know that domestic debt is 40 trillion. We all know that the foreign debt is about $130 billion. We all know there is a huge current account deficit if we let our actual demand of imports flow freely. We all know there is a fiscal deficit to an extent that the total revenue is not even enough to meet our financial obligations. This is where we stand today. This is the reality. So when this challenge came in, it was that for 90 days, can we make a difference? for 120 days or whatever. I went for Umrah, and I normally do when I have to seek guidance. And I prayed for even for 1 hour. If I even have to give my life, I will give my life for my country, and even 100 lives for my country. I owe it to my country. And that was the spirit I took this assignment. We were seeing currency, all of us get affected with currency because we are an import-based economy. And our exports are practically 33% of our imports. Even if I take $27 billion number, and actual imports should be 80, although we have compressed it to 55, so let's take 55, half of our imports. So total economy is close to, what, $100 billion? For a country size of 250 million people, we are an economy of trade of $100 billion. And currency was in a spin. 17th August, when we took over, we saw people commenting, good people have been selected. On exactly after 2 weeks, most incapable people selected. The currency had gone from 285 to 340, and nothing was stopping it. So we all sat down as a team that what is the issue? And we said for the first time, elephant is in the room. That's what we said in the cabinet and the SIFC. Elephant is in the room. It's Afghan Transit. These are our exchange companies. Which country allows that smugglers who smuggle whatever under any garb, under Afghan Transit or under invoicing, that they are allowed to buy currency from exchange companies, and then they transmit it to Dubai, and then they transmit it to wherever they are buying these under invoice goods from, or wherever they are buying these under the garb of Afghan Transit. They are buying these goods through Afghan Transit. Can you imagine that last year, when the curbs came in on imports, we looked at the numbers. The import at that time under Afghan Transit, Afghan doesn't have any banking regulations, any banking relationship. In 2021, after the pullout, their $9 billion were frozen. All exchange was being used from Pakistan. And they were allowed to sell goods, take rupee against these goods, which was very, very correct. That if they have coal, if they have agriculture products, if they want to sell, can sell and take rupee because they couldn't settle in dollars. But we didn't allow anyone to play havoc with our economy. What happened was, they took the rupee, and then a structure erupted by virtue of which goods which were put under control list by the finance ministry, they were imported under Afghan Transit. And the Afghan Transit rose from $4 billion to $6.7 billion by June 23. And all those goods which were put on negative list or curtailed list by State Bank of Pakistan and Ministry of Finance, all of them, $2.7 billion, were imported under Afghan Transit. Iran opened up another gateway, and this currency, when I looked at it, it's very simple, and I'll explain it to you. We never had any shortage. What I'm trying to explain. When we looked at it in August, the total imports of our country was $4.4 billion. So in State Bank, $4.4 billion payments were made. Our exports for August were $2.1 billion, $2.4 billion, and our remittance was 2.1. So the inflow was 4.4 5 and outflow was 4.4. Then what was the havoc about? There was no shortfall in the interbank. And the currency had moved from 285 to 340, and everybody was saying it's going to 500. Reason was there is a 50% advantage to import goods duty-free under Afghan transit. So at 285, in terms of currency, who were importing, had an edge of 140 rupees in exchange rate. So they could buy our currency from our exchange companies, hard-earned money of our overseas Pakistanis at 430. So it was going to 430. And the second time around, they were not bothered about the currency rate. They had to just sell their goods, take the money and have a second flow of it. And this was happening for last 1 year. And we went from 160 to 340. The inflation between our country and the world, the difference has to be adjusted in the currency exchange rate, which basically means that you develop a mechanism of real effective exchange rate. So difference maybe our inflation was 30, inflation in the world is probably 7, so 23% was to be adjusted. At a rate of 160, 23 meant 40 rupees. So the currency should have been 200 rupees at the end of June of 23. This was never being pulled by actual real effective exchange rates. This was never being pulled. This was being pulled by exchange companies. Now, this is one of the major steps when we brought in. This is the first time 3 lists were made. One, what actually Afghanistan needs, $2 billion. Second, what was being brought into Pakistan, $3 billion. So all put on negative lists. Third, maybe Afghanistan needs something. So we put in a bank guarantee and 10% processing charge so that those goods don't come into Pakistan. And that changed the whole complexion. We're down to 281 rupees. So the elephant was in the room. It was nowhere else. Now, our exports in July were $2 billion. I'm pleased to state here that we have ended this month at $2.7 billion. This month's exports have touched $2.7 billion. I've always believed that these reforms, which the government has done, the gas reforms, it is holding $600 million of our export potential. Because one company is buying energy, same energy, at $14, other is buying at $4. These are all state assets. We did not transfer that gas resource from south to north. We have kept that resource in south only. And we have only done domestic, what you can call WACOC, domestic take-up for that province. Now the average price is probably $9. So everybody, the new entrant and the old entrant, can run their industry at $9. This is going to increase our exports to $3.3 billion a month. We have touched 2.7. We have a $600 million potential, and we're going to make 100% of our industry operational by the time we complete our term. Secondly, tell me a country in the world with so much potential, 250 million people, all resources, natural resources, agricultural resources, mineral resources, human resources, such CEOs. What's holding us back? We're a $300 billion economy, $1,250 per person per annum. I believe we are a $3 trillion economy potential. This is the best country to invest in. This is the best country which is going to give you the best results for your investments. This is the best country in the world.